Welcome, people, to the before the race activities. I'm not really gonna be talking much before the race. Unless y'all ask questions. If y'all ask questions, I'll talk. I'll answer questions as the most unbiased person in Formula 11, considering I'm the only person not on the team and not really rooting for anyone in the championship. Kind of just wanting the season to get over with so I can also join Formula 11 and not commentate anymore. Uh, yeah, so if y'all have any questions or anything, just, that's all I'm doing for the race. Rather than sitting here, maybe touch myself. I saw someone commented. Hold on, now let me get back to view your fuck ass comment.
I saw someone commented. Hold
Uh, I don't know what you said, bro. I'm so sorry. Bill said, "You reckon I'm going to win, Curly?" I don't know what your IRL username is, Bill, to be honest, so I don't know. Sorry, people. I was doing an interview with Chase, our driver, and y'all can't hear him, so it would have just been me talking to myself. So that's why I didn't, do all that shit. Currently looking through VCs right now. Sorry, I was honestly just scrolling on my phone. I don't know what's going on, dude. Oh my god, what are we waiting on, bro? It looks like they're finally starting to fucking ready up. Good golly, it took them fucking 16 minutes. Yes, I was just blasting TikTok. Here I go again on my own. Yeah, here I go again up on my own. Oh, yeah, here I go, I'm looking at my toes. Our viewer count jumps like crazy. Goes. Oh, sometimes we have one viewer, sometimes we have two. So we're missing both Alpine drivers. We're um missing both Alpine drivers and a Williams driver. Other than that, I believe we have a full grid. We have both Mercedes drivers. As I think Adele is the first one out on the track for the weekend. Oh my fuck. Did he rev his engine up? Holy cow. Revved it like a crazy motherfucker. Adele is our first man on track. And it's going to be the first man we're going to keep an eye on. As Adele, the brand new, he will probably find his way onto a F11 team now with Ferrari shaken up. Oh yeah, in breaking news. In break, in breaking news and F11, um, Gamer Boss was kind of bullied out of F11 by Fierce and Moon and basically everybody else. Fierce and Moon both terminated their contracts. They both left Ferrari. To be honest, I think it's a pretty fucked situation. I think, okay, as Adele lets up, Big P goes through. Oh no, it's Airtonio. Airtonio now on the flying lap. But yeah, I really don't agree with the whole whatever bullshit happened with the whole Fierce and Moon terminating their contract. But they're on different teams now, and now we get to indulge in a whole different season. Airtonio sets a pretty good benchmark time. A 15.4 is pretty good. A 15.1 is what we're looking for. B&A sets a 16.5. We're gonna go with Nappy, who Just gone in his lap. We're gonna go somewhere else. Maybe Chase. Yeah, we're gonna kick him if Chase. There's a yellow sector. A yellow flag in sector 1. I think it's just a car or somebody letting somebody through. It's Chase. We're going to talk about Chase this weekend. I interviewed Chase before the race. This is what Chase had to say. I asked him about the losses. He said the losses, they don't strike the confidence. There's still another half of the season to be played. He believes he can flip the script with better luck in races. And he believes V-Carb now, with everything that's happened with Ferrari devolving, they can win the championship. And he'd like to put the car on pole. And I believe he was just warming up his tires. This is the lap that he's going to want to set. Fierce put a 15.6. That's not a good lap at all, believe it or not. That's actually terrible from Fierce. As Chase is now on track, and whenever I asked him about the strategy, he said he was pretty confident with his strategy all weekend. He's confident with his race, and he believes this is actually the track that he can take his first win of the season. And Ghosty Swag with a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Laid to Rest. I don't know what happened there, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Chase, he's going to run out of gas. Is he going to finish? Is he going to put in a lap? Yes, he's going to put in a lap. He's just going to have no gas when he gets back to the pit lanes. Here goes Chase. Through the stadium. And across the checkered line. There goes the checkered flag for Chase. It's a 116 flat. He's slow. Not what Chase was wanting. And we're going to go look at maybe Mikey Litter. He'd be awesome, Ace. He's on a lap. We gotta give the back marker some love. Why not? It's DNA on a lap. Low on fuel. I don't believe he's on a lap, to be honest, now I think about it. Mikey is, though. We're gonna give him some love. Love and prosperity. 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 Wait, I believe Fierce is on a lap. He is. As he cuts through the stadium and across the finish line. Oh, been to the pits. Never mind. But talking about Fierce, we interviewed him before the race. And he also has had a very struggling practice weekend here in Mexico. But he also just got switched over to Kick Sauber. Now being switched over to Kick Sauber, sorry, I'm high. I don't really give a shit. Fuck this, man. Now that he's over at Kick Sauber, he has a big task if he wants to win a Constructors' Championship. But it'll be interesting. He has C Boogie beside of him, possibly the best driver pair on the grid. And it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And talking about Fierce, I asked him about Chase. He said he wasn't concerned with Chase. With Ayrtonio. And he said he was only concerned with Chase. Said wasn't really concerned about much else when it came to the rest of the grid. He said his plan this weekend was to stick to his own racing style, maybe be passive for his championship. Sorry. He said he said his plan was to stick to his own racing style. Uh, he wasn't angry about his performance. He sounded pretty humble whenever I was talking to him, and that his plan for the season was to match Max's 10 wins. His strategy for the race was to depend on his position and where he started. But when I asked him about any comments he had before he went out on track, and he said he was bothered. He said, I've been struggling a lot in practices, and I want to improve on that. So he's P2 right now. He wants pole. We'll see if he can improve and fix on that there. But we're watching Nappy. We're on board with him. Well, not on board, but we're watching his lap here. Nappy, he said his race performance, it hurts. That was, and I quote, it hurts. He said his plan was to practice the race and incidents and what he can improve on during the race. Less focus on qualifying as he's been doing so throughout the rest of the season. He's been practicing qualifying weekly instead of much race pace and whatnot. So that was his plan this week. He said his plan was the one stop, but he said the one stop was a stretch. And when I asked him anything he had before the race, he said one thing. And I quote, Fierce is not winning. So now that brings us to our pole sitter, Antonio. Wait, Chase is on a lap. But yeah, as we talk about Antonio, I asked him about the penalty points. He said, and I quote, I don't think about the consequences. If there's a gap, I'm not going to back down. I'm always going to go for the gap. A very confident sounding man. Very eager sounding man as well. I'm always going to go for it. I don't think about the consequences. Well, the consequences are going to be a race ban if he doesn't watch out. His strategy, he's going to be aggressive. He's going to start the mediums, and he is definitely considered the hards. He says there's no need in a two-stop. So we'll see how that is going to go down. He just invalidated his lap time, so we'll see how the rest of his weekend turns out to be. As I'm pretty sure Chase will be the next driver on a lap. Moon just goes up in the P2 with a 15.5. Chase now on his lap. How great can the Spaniard be in Mexico? You know, I mean, this is his track, right? Well, he's already backing off. I mean, we can't fucking find somebody on a fucking lap. This shit's pitiful. But we might have Fierce. Fierce might be on pole. Well, there he is, folks. 15.1. He said his qualifying performance, it was bothering him. Well, there he goes on pole. 15.1 with 4 minutes and 35 seconds left in qualifying. As we are getting down to the end of it. Spidey Kid as the two new Ferrari drivers are struggling. Tony Rowe, P13. Spidey Kid, P16. Laid the rest are Twitch streamer, P15. What's happening? Our celebrity. Laid the rest. No. And laid the rest doesn't improve on his time. And Tony World's been disqualified. Uh-oh. Nappy's improving on his time throughout the stadium, but he invalidates his lap time. Sline's improving now. Oops, sorry. I low-key got distracted as Airtonio's on a lap. He's down by a tenth, though, already. So looks like he's not pushing much either. A lot of people retiring from qualifying. Antonio goes off. I feel like this is going to be the last man to really throw us a lap together here. I can't see how much time is left because there's a fucking caution flag every fucking 5 seconds. So... here comes Chase isn't gonna run a lap. Is anybody gonna run a lap in qualifying? No fucking wonder Chase never gets fucking pole. His qualifying strategy sucks. As Antonio is going around, he's pushing hard as he goes through the S's, one of the hardest pieces of the racetrack, a piece where many people have found their way to slip and wreck throughout the course of the races here through Mexico, as he's going to dive into the stadium just 3/10 off of Fierce. Can he push for pole? I haven't been paying attention to his lap times. I don't know how far down he is. This is going to be a lap, and he's well off. And is Chase going to get a lap in? He is. With DRS. As Chase improves, continues through Sector 1. He's low on gas, but I think that's what he wanted. He's down a little bit in Sector 1. Chase has talked a big game about Mexico, but it's not looking very big right now. As the Mercedes kind of impeded there. But it was retiring, so it's not an impede that he could have controlled. He was trying to retire the car. Here comes Chase. Can he improve? No, he's slow. He's so slow. He hits the wall. He's not going to get pole. He wasn't even close. He pulls into the pit lane. And that's qualifying for you, folks. See, Bookie, you on a lap? He's down. I mean, God bless. It's Fierce P1, Moon P2, Antonio P3, C-Boogie P4, Skull P5, Chase P6, Lime P7, Adele P8, Big P follows Sue in P9 with Nappy following in P10, B&A P11, Ghosty and his teammate follow in P12 and P13. Laid the rest of Celebrity in P14 with Spidey Kid in P15 with Awesome Ace, the other Mercedes in P16, Tony World, the other Ferrari in P17, leading to a very, well, shitty era for Ferrari. Honestly, take me out the booth and let me race for Ferrari. Fuck this shit, man. I mean, like, come on, man. I put in a 15, like a 16.5, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, you guys suck. Sorry. Gonna go turn off the TV in my living room real quick.
All right, if you hear some tears, maybe some crying during this news, it's just talking about the heartbreak. The Carolina Panthers.
Oh my God, Carolina Panthers, turn that shit off. No one wants to hear about that. Fucking faggot. Why would you even talk about the Carolina Panthers losing? What is wrong with people? Five lot. Okay, never mind. I fucking forgot the formation on it. It is all up the. Oh. It seems the grid has gotten switched around a little bit. Spidey is in P13. Tony P15. Laid the rest P17. Ghosty P16. Possible race strategies. They're saying 2 stop and 3 stops are the possible race strategies. They're canceling out the 1 stop. Will we see the 2 stop? Will we see the 1 stop? It's such an interesting one, and with Chase and Skolom getting disqualified on the formation lap, that one's going to be a tough one to blow. Fierce leading the formation lap this time for the first time in a kick salver. as he comes to the grid. P1, Moon P2, P3, Antonio P4, C Boogie, followed by the V cars of Slime and Adele, following with Big P and Nappy. We have B&A and Mikey in 11 and 12th of Spidey and Awesome Ace in 13 and 14th, Tony and Ghosty in 15th and 16th of Lay the Rest or Celebrity in 17th, and we are on the way and just about ready for lights out here in Mexico. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're all lit up. And out they go. There goes Fierce. And it's a great start by C Boogie. C Boogie is off to an amazing start. I believe it's actually Airtonio and Fierce. They're battling. Moon gets left behind. C Boogie and Moon make contact. The two Australians. Nothing crazy happening in the background. Chase and P5 and P7 battling Slime. He goes around the outside. He gives the position back, but he makes contact. Oh, and there's a lot of contact going down there. There's the Dell. You can see damage to the wing. Chase, I want to see if there was any damage to that B-carb, as cars are going all over the track. Yeah, not a lot of damage here. Fierce is off to a 1.1 second lead. I don't know if there was much damage, but I know Chase is on the hards. And B&A is all over the back of Chase, and he might give Chase a run for his money here on the straight. Is he? Will he? Chase, B&A is not even activating his battery. He's not gonna get it. As we settle in, as the racing begins to really settle on their way, we have 4 cars already into the pits. Nappy, Ghosty, Awesome Ace, Adele, all having some pretty bad starts. Nappy, you talk about his race performance and it hurt. That's what he said. Well, it's gonna hurt after this one. And I believe there's a virtual safety car. Yes. And Adele has a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's Adele, his first race. That is not going to be one he's going to want to remember. In the debut, and Big P with a drive-through penalty. And as we have the virtual safety car on lap 2, oh no, Nappy's not gonna like that. Ghosty gets a drive-through penalty as well. Nappy gets a pass on Adele in the process. B&A gets a pass on Chase. And completes it. He's got the faster tires, and if you have them, you might as well make the pass. And can B&A make a weekend out of it? Maybe B&A has a name to play for. Maybe he can put up some points. Maybe he can battle Chase. Maybe Chase isn't as good as everyone says. Maybe Chase isn't as good as everyone says. I didn't say it. Airtonio in P2, settling in. C Boogie on DRS range from Moon. But B&A is now getting backed off by Slime, as that is not what Chase wants. Chase has those hards. He wants to really stay on pace, but not really lose pace off of those cars ahead. He wants those hards to really just be beautiful. Golem, Sline are battling on the straight as Sline gets past, and now Chase gets past B&A with a dangerous move. His front wing against his rear wing, and Chase is too fast, and now he's got DRS. B&A using all of his battery, never mind, not using any of it, as Chase begins to build on his lead on B&A. And yeah, it's already almost at a second. But now the battle for P2 heating up between C Boogie Chase. There's a yellow flag. It's Big P into the wall. B&A with a 3-second time penalty. B&A into the wall, and Big P into the wall. He has no front wing, and he is blocking up Ghosty. And he finally lets Ghosty through, and it looks like he's going to keep racing Ghosty, and he is. Big P. This is going to be a ballsy move from Big P. Ghosty's too fast. But Ghosty gets a 3-second time penalty in the process. But now Chase improving his gap, and now can he flip the gaps between him and Slime and the rest of the leaders? The gap between him and Fierce is 9.9 seconds. Now it's up to 10. But the battle for P2 all over each other. As Chase is beginning to drop the gap between everybody else, there's a big... Okay, someone's in the pit. That's what happened. Wait. Adele DNF'd. I don't even know what happened to Adele. What the fuck? Laid the rest out of the pits in P12. And onto the medium tire. Nappy and Tony battling the former teammates. And B&A with another 3-second time penalty. And now the gap between Chase and Fierce also dropping. Maybe Chase has a strategy a little bit better than Fierce. I want to see their last lap time. I can't. Great. But the gap between Slime and Chase steadily dropping. Those mediums starting to give way. They don't last an incredible amount of time here in Mexico. The tire degradation is insane. Laid the rest of a 3-second time penalty. As Airtonio, I didn't even see Moon got past Airtonio as the battle for B2 is heating up as Moon is only 1.4 seconds off of Fierce. Yeah, that's big. Moon also needs to watch his fuel. It says it's yellow. But Airtonio almost out of DRS range. Could Moon maybe be the first one to win, not named Fierce? Gap still dropping between Chase and Fierce. See Boogie. Slime on the back of Skullum. He's going to try and give it a shot here. That Big P beside of him. Big P is getting in the way of Slime's race. And I don't know how Slime's going to feel about this one. And he's racing them! Oh, he's getting his elbows out. With the cars ahead, he's racing Skullum now. Mikey, who is on the back of Laid the Rest. He's going to have DRS. Could he maybe get an overtake? But Laid the Rest is even closer to the back of Tony. Tony, no, he's not going to get anything. Big P still battling. Back behind Skull. I mean, back behind Slime, but really just making things more difficult for Slime. But Chase is now even closer. And now the battle between all those men dying down. The only battle we have on track is Chase and Slime. Yeah, with Big P backing up Slime, Chase now makes the first overtake he needed. He is now 8.5 seconds behind Fierce, and Fierce is dropping time, and Big P will get a 10-second time penalty for ignoring blue flags. And if Big P doesn't watch himself, he could be called to retire from the race. As Big P goes into the pits and retires, the FIA has disqualified him from the race. Our FIA, as Moon goes into the pits, he was catching up to Fierce, who Fierce stays on track, and now the gap between him and Chase is now 7.5 seconds. Chase, the only one of our leaders on hards. I believe the only one of drivers on hards. Yeah, only one of the starters on hards. So, a really good decision from him. Starting those hard tires, as it looks like it's paying off right now. The question is, where will the trade-off be? As Chase catches up to Scullum, how will those two work together? Will Scullum let Chase through? Will the teamwork come together? Will give him a little tow too? As Fierce goes into the pits. 3-second time penalty for Awesome Ace. Fierce goes into the pits. Chase gets past Scullum. C Boogie now only 1.2 seconds ahead of Chase. And now his lead is not much of a lead, to be honest. Just 1 second. But Fierce is now behind Moon. The undercut by Moon worked out perfectly. Moon is now in the lead, is in the provisional lead of Mexico. But with Chase, we don't know where this could all play out. We have a race to play for, folks, as Nappy gets by Awesome Ace, Airtonio gets by B&A, and now Fierce is going to have to try and get by Moon, but Moon, who's already been on those hard tires, his tires are going to be a little more used, a little more hot. He's going to be quicker. Can Fierce try and catch up to Moon? He's got DRS. It doesn't do much. He's a second away. Oh, he's fading from Moon. But Chase is now battling for the lead of the race. And for the first time all season, Chase looks like he could be winning a race sometime soon as Scullum goes into the pits. Fierce is still not fast enough to catch up to Moon, as Moon is now starting to catch up to Slime. But Slime will slime pit soon, as he's been on those tires for 10 laps. But Fierce gets by Moon. What a move by Fierce. He got him through that tough piece of the track But will Moon be able to make something happen from there? They're going to be battling each other all race. It's going to be an interesting pandemic. Fierce's tire wear is a little worse than the rest. But also, one thing to notice, Chase's tires are 10 laps older, but his gap is not really shrinking from Fierce Moon. It is shrinking a little bit, but it's quite steady, to be honest, folks, which is not good if you're the rest of them. Oh, both there dropped. They just took a little drop, just dropped a couple seconds. But Fierce and Moon are going to be battling each other for that provisional P1. See Boogie slide into the pits. Who's going to win this battle? It is C Boogie. Slime comes out, not too far behind, but not close enough. Antonio, now the car behind Moon, Fierce. 10-second gap, the gap between Chase and Fierce. Can Chase make that hard tire stretch as long as he wants? Because if he does the plan that it looks like he's on, I believe Chase is gonna go for a... I believe what most teams will do, and this is what we're looking at. We're looking at a 10-10-16 situation. So they will drag a medium tire 16 laps. Oh, well, maybe they'll end up on taking this hard tire the rest of the way. Wait, no, that's 26 laps. So I don't think they're taking the hard tire 26 laps. If they do, impressive. But I believe what they'll do is, I believe we'll see a mixture of teams not only doing a Moon, does he get the overtake? He does! Moon goes in the P1 as Chase is into the pit lane. He comes out, he dragged those hards, and he's on to fresh hards. So now what we're going to see from Chase, he's going to drag these to lap 26, I believe, and he's going to pit on lap 26 for mediums and take those mediums 10 laps. Now the question is, do these guys do 10-10 and drag the hards 10 laps? 16 laps. But Moon is on... They're both on hard. So the strategy for them would be... I guess... We'll see. We'll see. I don't know what they're going to do, to be honest. With Chase only 13 seconds behind, the freshest tires on the track. Question is, will he be able to make a Chase? It's going to be a hard one for Chase, especially, but the strategy he's been using, it's his best chance of a win. As Moon gets the 3-second time penalty, he's probably going to want to review one of his warnings because of his battles with Chase and because, well, I'm sure everyone has had a battle with Big P at some point already in this race. Mikey Litter DNF. He's going slow on the straight. I have not been paying attention to these back markers. I'm so sorry. Laid the rest now all over the back of Tony. Moon and Fierce are still battling. I just left the VC. I'm probably getting listened to by the entire Discord server as I commentate their race right now. Fierce and Moon. Moon still in the lead. Well, Moon with the 3-second penalty is in the lead, but we'll see whether that 3-second time penalty will stick. Chase now in P6. He's already made one pass. He's on the back of C Boogie, wanting to make the next. And C Boogie is one lap older tires. Yes, Line and C Boogie stretch those hard tires the most. And Moon is staying in front of Fierce, and I think Fierce is just wanting Moon to make a mistake because he's not making a move. As I say that, he goes inside. They're battling wheel to wheel, and Fierce will oh my god! They're still going! And Moon stays ahead! What a fucking sector by those two! The wheel-to-wheel battle, I couldn't even fucking speak. Moon. But now, their wheel-to-wheel battle has put someone else's hands into the mix. It's Airtonio. Same amount of tire degradation, and it is going to make it extremely interesting. And can Chase get past C Boogie? That is his thorn in his side right now. If he can get past C Boogie, he could maybe make a lead for the race, but until he can do that, not going to be doing much in this race. But Fierce goes into P1. Fierce Airtonio. Moon all crash. Airtonio gets the worst of it. Moon lost a piece of his wing. Airtonio. No, not a lot of damage. But that is heartbreaking for Airtonio. Great race, and now he's got 3 drivers that are hungry, all on the back of him with fresher tires. And this makes it even harder for Chase, who's trying to get by. Chase has a 3-second time penalty. Moon is in the pits. I picked up my phone for a second, texted someone back, and Airtonio has a 23-second time penalty. Corner cutting, a 10-second time penalty. Mikey, Tony, Big P, all out of the race. Airtonio now retires. He goes into the pits and retires. Chase and C Boogie. Chase is going around the outside, and is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get the overtake? He will. He has enough speed. Oh, they're still going. Analyze this shit. I don't even know who's in the lead. As it is line in P5, following everything that's happened so far in this race. This is definitely going to be a race to forget here in Formula 11. Preferably tomorrow. As C Boogie bumps into the back of Chase as Chase continues to press forward. Is there Tonio, who is having a great race. Well, now more than likely suffer a race, man. Oh well. I mean, not much you can do about it. As Moon will receive a 3-second time penalty. That's terrible for Moon. As Chase is now trying to pull away from this three-headed little toe session between Chase, C Boogie, Slime. They're all trying to, tow each other to the front. But currently it's Scullum in P2, Chase in P3, Slime P5, Moon in P6, B&A in P7 with Nappy in P8. And I believe we might be starting to see some wear on the tires of Fierce. We're going to go on board. We're going to look at the tires. And yeah, you can see some wear beginning to form on the tire. As you can see on the inner line of the left tire, there's a line beginning to form on Fierce's tire. There's a lot of wear beginning to form on that left tire. He's starting to form a little wear line on that left tire. You can see it also forming on the right. His rear tires, you can also see specks all across that tire. Grains of gravel, dirt, grass, as the gap's beginning to drop between both him, Scullum, and Chase. And now Slime is also, his tires are old. He's dropping back off of C Boogie, but he's also on mediums. Oh, C Boogie goes wide. One thing he doesn't need is a 3-second penalty. He's driving perfection. He doesn't want to mess it up now. Scullum now only as now C Boogie with Slime all over the back of him. Gets a 3-second time penalty. Slime using his tires well. But Scullum is starting to catch up to our race leader. Fierce is struggling. When he gets to that 10 plus lap threshold, he struggles. And not the good kind. He struggles drastically. Let's look at Scullum's tire wear. As you can see, his left tire, his right rear tire is not as worn as you saw in Fierce's. His left rear got some wear. He's looking pretty good. His front right tire looks great. His front left tire, you can see a little wear on that. But he is looking with much fresher tires than Fierce. He just needs to stay on the attack. He should be able to catch up. We're going to look at Chase's tires. Oh, Chase's tires look perfectly fine. So, out of those three, the tire race, it's looking like it's Chase's the win. But Chase also needs to make up the 10 seconds. Think he can do that, Chase? 10 seconds? Well, you got to. Skolem now trying to catch up. Fierce using all of his battery. He knows Skolem is on better, using his tires faster, using more speed, getting more out of the car. As Chase begins to wear his gap, as the gap dropped 0.3 from that last turn, as it steadies back. Line now in P5. C-Boogie P4 with Jason P3, Skolem P2 with Fierce dropping his lead. There is still some to play for. And with Blade the rest, maybe about to make an overtake. Awesome. Never mind. Who cares? Everyone pretty predominantly stretched out throughout the racetrack right now. Line goes into the pit. Push those mediums a hard while. Moon, who is racing an outstanding race now in P5. Skolem P2, looking like he might be the guy to finish P2 on the podium, but Fierce's tire wear the way it is right now, he could finish even farther up. As you can see, the tire wear on the front left getting a little dirty. But Fierce's tires, look at the front left tire on Fierce's tires. His tires are gone, folks. The front right not looking well either. As we look at Skolem's, yes, they're bad, but you can see the tire grain not on the front left. Fierce's, they're on every single tire. That front left especially. Fierce has been putting that tire all in the grass. He's kind of sliding around. The gap continuously dropping. And Chase's tires still look like money. A little grain beginning to build up on the back left. Golem, Fierce, the gap between... Oh wow, that gap dropped drastically that lap. As Fierce and Skolem both go into the pits. Skolem cut his pit strategy a little short that time. But he's right behind. And now Chase is in the lead. Right when Chase had made up 7/10 that lap. He had made up almost 7/10, almost a whole second that lap. Now it's a little bit harder, and now the gap between Skolem and Fierce only 1.8 seconds. Can Skolem maybe make a race out of this? Can Skolem be the first to defeat Fierce? We got 10 laps to find out. Fierce's tires got to fall before then. But Fierce is on hards. So Fierce is on hard. Chase is going to be on fresh medium. So I don't believe Fierce's tires will fall out. But they did begin to fall out before. Chase coming out. Where will Chase come out? He's going to come out ahead of Slime. I believe so. Yes, he will. He will come out on mediums. 5.8 seconds. 5.6 seconds behind our leaders, and he's on medium, so he will be the fastest car on the track. And believe him to push, folks. Believe that man to push. Believe that man to put pressure. Put him under pressure. We're gonna see if Fierce has any race warnings. Only one warning for Fierce so far. Fierce sets the fastest lap of the race. Moon in the lead, but how long will that last? What if Moon wanted to take his tires to the end? Not too spotty. Could be a tough decision, but it might be a podium in the end. Golem, 2.4 seconds. 2.3, the gap not really dropping the way he wished it would have. Especially here, but it's dropping down to 2 seconds. And Fierce dropped off 3.2. He was down to 3 seconds. He dropped off a little bit there on that last corner. Just something to keep your eye out. But now he's back up, and Chase is still needing to build back up. Yeah, Chase, he's on those mediums. You think he'd be flying by now, but he's not where he needs to be. How long will Moon stay out on these tires, though? Is the real question. As he goes through the stadium, 2.5 seconds, the gap between him and Fierce. The gap continues to drop. He's not going into the pits. And if Moon really wanted to, he really could slow Fierce down if he wanted to and cost him theatrics. Chase sets the fastest lap, 3.5 seconds behind Skull. Skull now 1.9 seconds. The gap silently dropping. Question is, will it continue to lean that way in the favor as C Boogie gets past his line? What happened there? Just an overtake. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. DNA now on the back of Nappy. Who knows if Nappy's even in this race anymore? Skull building up his battery a lot. 6 laps to play. That battery is going to get him a lot closer to Fierce. As I believe Moon will be trying the one stop. A risky strategy, but it's the best strategy. As right now, the one stop has him on the podium. The question is, what is he going to do when Fierce catches up? Is he going to pit before, or is he going to block and hold Fierce up? 1.2 seconds. The gap between Scullum and Fierce, 1.5 seconds. The gap between Scullum and Chase, 3.1 seconds. This is going to be an interesting finish, depending on when Fierce can catch up this Moon. Will Moon pit? He is going to go right on past. Fierce is not going to have the battery. Will they give him DRS this time around? They won't. And it continues. The 1.2 second gap, and Chase, still not enough battery. Scullum is leading the battery department, and Moon is on a 15 lap tire wear. I know Moon is going to want to try and get some back on his penalties. Nappy now with 9 seconds. And now, Fierce and DRS. How will this play out? Moon, Fierce. Really hold him up. His former teammate, literally less than 2 hours ago. They're right on top of each other. Fierce trying to get the overtake, deploying all of his battery. He's still not going to have enough. Fierce, he does get the overtake. What the fuck? Are we serious? Did Moon just give Fierce a split stream? Are we fucking serious? We're helping our rivals win. Alright. This is... I mean, is that what just happened? You kind of just let them through. I mean... Most of my people that are in here watching during the races are not in here watching, so I don't have like a group or audience. Scullum all over the back. Scullum, he's gonna have a disappointing into this race. That's 3 laps to go. Will he be able to get an overtake here? It's not the best spot. Not a great spot. Depending on how Moons plays this, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, hell no. Oh, no, he didn't. Ew, Moon, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? As Fierce is gonna win the race. Moon is gonna come P, God knows what. Scullum's gonna come P2. What a... And now he's just blocking Scullum. What a ending to a race. Good for you, Moon. Good for you. This makes you sick. I mean, I almost want to leave. I might. I mean, like, do I? Like... Oh my god. That's just like... That's pretty gay. Well, that's how the race is gonna end, folks. Pierce is gonna win. He's got 150 points. Pretty boring results here in Mexico. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. We'll see you next time. Moon and Fierce kind of ruined my day, so the fact that they got 1 and 2 like this they kind of just ruined the league. So we'll see what happens next in Formula 11. Bye.